Hi, this is Kim Coles, and I am Kinky when wet. Woo woo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nappy-Headed Black Girl, and thank you for joining me for Kinky when wet. Today we have a very special guest. She's a comedian, game show host, reality TV star, sitcom queen. She's done it all. Welcome, Miss Kim Coles, the one and only. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Hello, hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. Before we even get started, I just want to thank you for being so accessible. I've seen you everywhere talking about your natural hair. I've seen you on your own website, on YouTube channels, on natural hair blogs, and it's so awesome to see someone that's in your position going through the same things that some of us are going through with our hair. So thank you so much for, being so open about your hair and about your transition. It's really cool.
Well, thank you. Here's the thing. What I do for a living is just what I do for a living. It's not who I am. And so I'm a woman first. I'm a woman with curly, kinky hair. And I'm a black woman with curly, kinky hair. So I have all the same discussions, all the same questions, all the same trials and tribulations and challenges with my hair. And it just made sense to go on the journey in a public way because people are going to see me looking different. I might as well talk about it.
Let's talk a little bit about your hair. I've seen you with micro braids, of course. I know you've had weaves in the past. You've been relaxed. You've had a journey that's very similar to some of ours. What made you finally decide to give up your weaves and braids and just embrace your natural hair?
Well, I've been looking the same for so long, and it seemed it was time for change. I just looked the same, especially with the micro braids. It looked the same for 20 years. And I felt that the braids were so identified with Sinclair, and I love Sinclair, but I also realized that I was covering my own hair because A, I didn't like it, B, I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't know what else to do with it. And so I started watching YouTube videos and really embracing the natural hair movement and really checking in with the natural hair movement. And it seemed to me that the next step was to just cut all the extensions out of my head. And I didn't know what to expect. And I bought myself a couple of wigs just in case I didn't like it or just in case I got called to go to work and I didn't know what to do or know how to style it. And I'm so glad I did. It was one of the best things I've ever done. I love it, and I love the conversation around it, and I love the conversation that our hair is beautiful, and you have to embrace it. And you have to try to embrace it. You need to at least try to embrace it.
Now that you're natural, I know you said you didn't know what to do with your hair, and that sounds exactly like me when I used to wear braids. I got my braids done every month, and in between having my hair done, I pretty much didn't touch it. So now that you're natural, do you find that you enjoy your hair more? Do you experiment with styles? Do you, do more to your own hair than you did in the past?
No, I would say this. Well, first of all, let me start by saying that I always considered myself quote unquote natural because I had no chemicals in my hair from like 1980 forward. I had no chemicals whatsoever because I considered myself natural, and I kept my own hair very, very short so that my braider would braid the hair into my hair and keep the braid short so that I could have long flowing hair. You know how you just keep the braid very short? Like sometimes you braid all the way to the end, and sometimes you only braid to the end of your own hair. So I kept my own hair very short. So I BC'd. I didn't even know what big chopping was. I BC'd my hair every couple of months. We kept it very, very short. So I thought myself natural, but for me, the definition of natural is when you are wearing your own natural texture. I can't even pretend that I'm natural color because I'm gray. I got a lot of gray, and I color my hair. So I don't pretend that I'm all 100% natural, whatever that means. But the thing is that actually I'm like you. I would get my hair braided every month, and I never touched it. So I actually spend more time doing my hair now than I ever did before. I didn't know what to do with my hair. I didn't know what products to put on my hair. So this has actually been a journey that is freeing in that I look in the mirror and I see what I really look like. But it's actually way more work than the braids ever were because the braids were just a 1-2 punch and you were done. So it's important for me that when I tell people my story, if I was a wash and go girl, then it would be much easier. But I double strand twist my hair in order to really lengthen it and get fuller, get the curl to extend. it's way more work and way more attention. I was hiding my hair way before. Now I really pay attention to it, wash and condition, use particular kinds of products. It's a way bigger deal.
Do you have a hair routine? Like, do you have any certain products that you really like or anything that you do before you go to bed every night?
So I definitely wrap it up in a satin bonnet every night. And sometimes I even sleep on a satin pillowcase, but sometimes the bonnet moves and, you know, your edges are exposed. So I sleep on a satin pillowcase and I sleep in a satin bonnet without fail. I wash and condition it, I would say, weekly. I don't go any more than 8 days. And I am a true product junkie. So I use everything from Eco Styler to Kinky Curly Not Today conditioner to Jane Carter Curl Defining Cream to Afro Vita products to Shea Moisture to everything.
We know that Hollywood favors a certain type of look. So I'm curious, have you encountered any obstacles, you know, since you've gone natural, being in the entertainment industry?
No, I will say that I did have a few casting directors look at my hair because they didn't know quite what to do with it. But I know that, you know, that's what wigs are for. If there's a particular look that you don't like, I can slap on a wig and we can call it a day. I realized that I have always marched to the beat of my own drummer. And I never did look like the typical Hollywood girl anyway, so why should I keep that look? And part of the reason I kept the look so long is I thought I needed to look a particular way. I needed to look, quote unquote, castable by having long flowing hair. I wasn't on the show for years. And then when I did get booked, I got booked because I was Kim Cole. I didn't get booked because I looked a particular way because I had a particular hairstyle. So I thought I would take the plunge and just decide to be comfortable with my own personal look and let everybody else figure it out as they go along. And I'm so glad I did because I'm now not beholden to a particular way I'm supposed to look because I never did look like that anyway.
I like that. I've always said that when you go natural, being confident and self-assured is 99% of it. So if you love your hair and you exude that, then other people will pick up on it.
I think so too. I agree with you. Now listen, I can't deny that particularly for Hollywood, there is a particular look that you have to have if you want to do the kinds of roles. But I wasn't doing those kinds of roles anyway, so it didn't matter. And I also say that people ask about the girls in Hollywood that still wear relaxers or still wear weaves. There really is a cookie cutter look. There really is a look that you're supposed to have if you're doing, like if you're the love interest, for example. It's going to be a while before the love interest wears a short, teeny afro. It's going to be a while. So these girls have to look the way they have to look castable, and I get it. I just decided that nobody's checking for me to play the ingenue in a movie anyway, so I might as well do what I want to do.
I mentioned that you've held a lot of different roles in the industry. Tell us about your latest project, Supernatural the Play. Tagline, we all have a hair story. Yes, we do.
We do. Well, I was asked to come and be featured in this amazing play that is about our voices and our concerns and our conversations about our hair and our culture. And they asked me to come and do, star in the show in New York. And I'm just so grateful to be continuing the conversation in this type of theatrical way. It's really well written, covers a lot of the bases. I think it's going to get women talking and laughing and clapping and crying and celebrating who we are.
Tell your fans where can we find you online and keep up with you and what you're doing, your latest projects.
All right. My website is kimcoles.tv. I am at Kim Coles on Twitter. I am real Kim Coles on Facebook. And I always post what I'm doing there. You know, I have a one-woman show that I am trying to get to as many cities as possible in the next year or so. In May, I'm going to be in Oakland. I'm talking to a theater in Philly about June. I have something happening in November in Detroit. So I just tell people to stay tuned to my Facebook page or Twitter or go to my website, kimcoles.tv, and all information will be posted there.
Before we let you go, do you have any advice that you can offer for any new naturals or maybe someone who's on the brink of doing the big chop?
I say live out loud. I say try everything. You don't know if it's for you unless you give it a try. Really give it a try and experiment with products and experiment with looking in the mirror and realizing that you are beautiful and you are not defined by your hair. Although the world defines us by our hair, you get to create your own definition, and you are beautiful.
Awesome. Fabulous advice. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ms. Coles. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
This is Nappy Headed Black Girl with Kim Coles. I'll see you next time on Kinky When Wet. Bye-bye. Nappy Headed Black Girl, where all hair is good hair.